No, I mean, the injustice is what happened to Alan Gibson. He's one of those quiet heroes that Governor Youngkin and I talk about. They go, they put on the badge, they protect our society. He left behind when he went to work that day in 1998, his wife and his young daughter, and he stumbled upon this drug deal, as you noted. There was a struggle. They shot Officer Gibson and orphaned his daughter. As a result, yes, Richardson pled guilty to manslaughter, Claiborne as an accomplice. This has been reviewed multiple times as part of the frustration that the legacy media isn't talking about. There's an appeals court, a federal appeals court in 2002 that found there was absolutely a finding that these individuals had taken Officer Gibson's life and had orphaned this child as a result of their dastardly conduct. But even more than this, they appealed the clemency to President Obama. President Obama reviewed this case and said they are not ineligible for a pardon or clemency. Same thing with this Justice Department actually requested.
Are you kidding me?
That. I mean, they requested this of President Obama. He turned them down. So Joe Biden, who has this criminal first, victim last mindset, has even more of a left-wing position on this than President Obama. It goes time and time again where they're ignoring law enforcement, not just in the Waverly 2, but I would remind your viewers of what happened with Leonard Peltier, an activist who brutally murdered in cold blood 2 FBI agents, executed him in the back of the head.
Let's see the photos of these people. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, over and over again, you've seen where they are requested, those that are there. And listen, the hardest thing I've ever done as Attorney General is speaking at the funerals and meeting with the families of fallen officers that have died and given the last full measure of devotion in the line of duty. And there's an implicit contract. If my loved one, if you're an officer and your life has been taken from you by a murderer, by a drug dealer, by a cop, whoever it is, then the law is going to come down on you. The idea that Biden would ignore law enforcement pleas for these killers, whether the FBI, the individual that murdered the FBI agents, or the individual that took Officer Gibson's life, and just ignore the request of countless individuals, I think is a slap in the face of law enforcement.
Well,
it goes back to that
Mr. Attorney General,
victim-less mindset.
What is your reaction to the criticism, however, of President Trump's decision for a blanket pardon for all of the January 6th defendants? Some of them did commit some acts of violence, although a lot of them served years in jail already. We know sex assault, convicts go to jail all across this country for a couple of years. Some of these people have been in jail for already 4 years.
I think President Trump campaigned on this as an issue, actually. He told the American people, if you vote for me, I'm going to seek pardon and clemency for those that were involved in January 6th. It's very different than what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden repeatedly promised the American people he would not pardon Hunter and would not pardon his whole family. He pardoned his brothers, his sisters, almost everybody in the Biden family. I think it's a huge difference between a campaign promise and somebody who looked at the American people, said he would never do it, and then he did it.
All right, Mr. Attorney General, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean.